Hello everyone, welcome to Everything Arsenal. Now we are already back with another live stream because there's some breaking news on Kai Havertz. We have been talking about Kai Havertz the last 1 week, but those were just reports. Now it has been confirmed by Fabrizio Romano, confirmed by David Ornstein, confirmed by Jacob Steinberg, and also confirmed by Team News Chicks. So that is serious. Arsenal actually want Kai Havertz, and it's very, very serious now that we do want him. It's not just rumors or reports. We've actually made an official proposal to sign Kai Havertz. So we have to talk about him in depth. I really want to know how you guys would feel about this deal. I've also put a poll on YouTube, and if you're watching on Facebook, my question is, do you think Havertz makes Arsenal stronger, or do you think he makes us weaker? Which one of the two do you think, weaker or stronger? How does Kai Havertz make Arsenal stronger or weaker? So I've thought about it the last 1 hour. I've come to the conclusion that it's the best signing we'll ever make. No, I'm just kidding. But we have to talk about the positives and the negatives as well. You have to talk about both situations. At the moment, right away, I am 55%, 45%. 55%, I'm okay with it happening. 45%, I'm not so sure. So I'm kind of still leaning towards I would be okay. I only have two problems with him. That is the price and also the system that we play. In the previous stream, there's no way I mentioned I don't want Havertz as Arsenal because it's a terrible player. No, I said it's because of two things. It's because of the price and also the system that we play. Those are my two concerns. So let's break it down more. Let's start with David Ornstein, who first broke it. So according to David Ornstein, Arsenal have made proposal to sign Kai Havertz. Pursuit ramped up in recent days. Contract with Chelsea and 24-year-old. Bayern also keen. 2 years left, so Chelsea ideally renew or sell. Arsenal planning formal proposal offered to West Ham for Declan Rice too. So according to David Ornstein, we've ramped up our efforts to sign Kai Havertz the last few days. And he's also wanted by a couple of more teams. But let's also take what Fabrizio Romano said about the same situation. More on Kai Havertz. Sources feel that Chelsea could be flexible about price tag after initial 75 million request considered too high by Arsenal. Players keen on the move. It could help Arsenal in the negotiation. Real Madrid won't even pay 50 million for Havertz as of now. Speaking of Real Madrid, let's try and look at this situation from different angles. The first one is the teams that want him. So Real Madrid want Kai Havertz. Manchester City have asked about Kai Havertz recently, and Bayern Munich also want Kai Havertz. So there's very good teams that want Kai Havertz. Surely cannot be a completely terrible player. He's wanted by Bayern Munich, Real Madrid, and Man City. The teams we are trying to compete with in the Champions League. Those are the teams that are always in the Champions League finals, especially those three: Man City, Bayern Munich, and Real Madrid. So there's a reason all three of them are wanting. That's the first angle to look at it. Number two, though, the price. That is my problem. Let's start with what I don't like about this deal, actually. Number one is the price. I never said Havertz is not a good player. My first concern is the price. 75 million for Kai Havertz. Hell no. 75 million. That is a lot of money. If he was 40 million, I'd be like, 80%, I'm good. Take him right away. 40 million, that is fine. I'm okay with 40 million, maybe 45 million or something. 75 million is a lot of money. So like that would be a world record transfer if we haven't gotten Rice or Kaiser there. That would be more than we've ever paid for anyone in the history of Arsenal. 75 million for Kai Havertz. If he was still at Leverkusen, that would have been okay. But considering he's had a couple of poor seasons at Chelsea, and it does feel like Chelsea really want to, because Chelsea have made so many mistakes in the transfer market. It really does feel like they just want to recoup all this money. Like they're trying to ask for 80 million for Mount from Man United. They want 75 million for Kai Havertz. So they're just trying to get the money that they spent badly back. I think they signed Havertz for like 70 million. So they're pretty much asking for almost the same or more. I think Havertz has not improved since going to Chelsea. I think he's gone down since going to Chelsea. That is a fact. So the price, 75 million, that is a concern. Number two, I've talked about it multiple times, the system. I think he prefers to be a number 10. Yes, he's played as Chelsea as a striker, but he does prefer to be a number 10 and everything. And Arsenal don't really play the number 10. Yes, you can call Odegaard a number 10, but it's more on the sides of Partey. We play two midfielders on the side of Partey, either sides of Partey, in a 4-3-3 formation. That is how we play in our system. not a 4-2-3-1. I feel like Kai Havertz is more suited to a 4-2-3-1, unless next season you're trying to play in two different formations or maybe three, a 4-3-3 and a 4-2-3-1. Maybe also get Lokonga back and everything. Maybe they're trying to do something different next season and have a couple of different formations. But those are the two reasons why I wouldn't take Kai Havertz. Number one, price, and number two, the system does not fit Havertz. But if we go to the other side, we've said there's a reason why Bayern Munich, Real Madrid, and Man City all want him. Number two, as we always say, experience. Maybe we think we're going to be in the Champions League final next year, and we think we need someone to score a Champions League final goal like he did for Chelsea. Maybe we do need that. Age-wise, he does fit into the age that you're trying to get. We usually get players who are 23, 24. He's only 24. So just like Lokonga and Tavares, if it doesn't work out, you can still sell him. But if it works out, it can work out for you for multiple years because he's only 24. There's that as well. And I don't think he's a bad player. Let me say that again. I've never said Havertz is a terrible player. You can never sign him. He's going to make you worse. No, if he comes to Arsenal, he's still going to make us better. Yes, maybe he can miss some chances here and there, but he's still going to make our squad depth better. He's still going to make the squad better. Are there other better signings to make rather than him in the same position? Of course. But that is where, again, we talk about Mikel Arteta. Of course, I've had a lot of people saying, I've already seen a lot of comments on Havertz. Like, how can you tell us not to be negative? Like, how are we going for Kai Havertz? This is not good enough. Well, two things. Number one, I remember very well, like I even told Odegaard that day himself. I told him that day that we were linked to Maddison and Odegaard, I was the first person I was saying, we have to get Maddison. We've already seen Odegaard here for 6 months. I think Maddison is better. Maddison would be a world-class signing. Odegaard maybe is not used to English football. We need to get someone like a Maddison in. And I saw a lot of comments saying Arteta and Dudu do not know what they are doing. Do not know what they are doing. Why are they signing Odegaard? This is a Real Madrid reject. He's never going to do anything for us. We need to get someone like a Maddison. Well, Edu and Atsa were right in terms of that. We were all wrong. Odegaard and Maddison right now, who would you rather have? 95% of us would say Odegaard is unreplaceable. That is why he's making teams of this season in the Premier League. And number two, there's a part of me, not even a small part, it's a big part of me that has come to trust Edu and Atsa in the terms of market. You can agree with this. Most of you said, why the hell are Arsenal signing Tomiyasu? Who is this guy from Bologna? Why are we signing this guy? He's not going to be good enough. No, Tomiyasu came, he was good enough. Apart from injuries, whenever he plays, he's good enough. Number two, this one I never said this one. I was very, very happy with Ben White joining Arsenal. But most people said Ben White, 50 million, Arteta out. He does not know what he's doing. Ben White, 2 seasons, absolutely incredible for us. You can say the same thing about multiple players. Why is he keeping Xhaka? He's not good enough. He needs to go. Xhaka was terrific this season. And especially Ramsdale. Almost 100% of the fan base said Edu and Arteta do not know what they are doing. Why are they signing a relegated player, Ramsdale, for 30 million or something? This is the worst transfer in Arsenal's history. No, all of those players have been absolutely amazing for us. So what if there's a chance that Havertz could turn out to be that as well? We don't want him. We need other players. We need to sort out our midfield first. Some people want a 30-goal strike and all that. What if he comes and he does fit into a system and proves us wrong like the others did? Are there bad signings on Edu? Yes. Lokonga, Tavares have not been great, of course. But 80% of the signings that they've made the last 3 years have been great, despite 50% of them Arsenal fans not agreeing with. Odegaard, Ramsdale, and all of those players. They've worked out for us. So we also have to think. Also have to think about that. Obviously, Arteta do know that Havertz. They know what we need. Of course, they know what we need. We definitely know what we need. Of course, they know what we need. Surely, they know what we need to participate or to compete for the Premier League and to compete for the Champions League. Of course, they know. Surely, they're not going to wake up and say, okay, let's just sign anyone. Let's just get Kai Havertz. Surely they've seen something. Maybe we've not seen it. Maybe not. As we said, the age is perfect and he's versatile. He can play in multiple roles. System's still a problem. I still don't think he fits into a system unless like they absolutely work their backs off and know how to use them I don't think he can play in the Xhaka role. Let me just clear that out. The Xhaka role, you have to be very, very strong and you have to be very energetic, back and forth. You have to be very energetic to play in that role, in the Xhaka role. The Odegaard role as a backup, I don't mind. I don't mind him playing in the Odegaard role as a backup. I don't mind that just having depth of someone who's played in the Premier League before for 3-4 years. Yes. He's been terrible at Chelsea. Yes. He does miss a few chances here and there. Yes. But then I also take into consideration the same I took with Ramsdale coming from Sheffield and Bournemouth. The team itself was bad. Everything in that team was bad. Like even if you're going to take Messi and whoever into that team last season, they are going to be terrible because the team system, the team culture was just terrible. So maybe if he plays in a well-organized institution and with a good manager and good players around him, players who can run like Martinelli and Saka, maybe it would work out. If it is 45 million, not if it is 75 million, I still wouldn't pay 75 million for him. And it doesn't look like Arsenal will pay 75 million for him. They will negotiate it. And also Chelsea fans, I've had Chelsea fans saying, yes, we want Havertz to go. But the couple that I've just watched an hour ago, most of them are saying, we want Havertz to go, but not to Arsenal. That is what I've had them say. We want him to go, but not to Arsenal. He will strengthen them. Chelsea, we have a lot of problems. That is another reason why Havertz has been bad. But with Arsenal, he will fit into their culture, and Arteta will probably improve him and all that. So you have to take into consideration all possible sides. You can't just say Havertz is terrible. I'm not hearing about it. And also you can't say Havertz is the best signing we've made since Alexis Sanchez. I'm not hearing anything about it. There's positives and negatives here and there. 75 million is a negative. I don't think he's worth 75 million. Him being versatile is a positive. He can play for you 4 different roles or something. Number 2, you can say him potentially having poor seasons in the Premier League recently, maybe that's a negative. Maybe him coming into a well-organized institution as a backup is also not going to play every single day if he ends up here. That's another thing. Maybe he does fit there. He's also said he wants to come to Arsenal, according to reports. So there's that as well. I always love players who want to come to Arsenal. Arsenal have emerged as strong contenders for the signature of Kai Havertz. According to Jacob Steinberg, the player has told Chelsea he wants to leave, and also there's somewhere else where they want that he wants to definitely join Arsenal. Now, remember, Ben White, Ramsdale, Jorginho, all of us said, no, they're not good enough. They're too expensive. It worked out. Maddison, Odegaard, we said we wanted Maddison, Odegaard. It worked out. So we have to take into consideration all possibilities. Is it a surprise deal? It would be very surprising. I didn't think we were going to go for someone like a Havertz. Even if you forget about Havertz, first of all, for me, I don't actually think that we seriously need a forward. I've had a lot of you saying we need a forward. We need someone who can play with Odegaard, someone who can play up front. For me, I need midfielders first and a fullback, and then you can get a backup for Jesus and for Saka if needed. Another couple of points is maybe this time we are very serious. Another positive I'm taking from this is money. If we are actually trying to pay 100 million for Declan Rice, 70 million for Havertz, 70 million for Caicedo, maybe things have actually changed at Arsenal. Like we're actually going for the big money kind of players. Usually we never hear about this. Usually it's 25 million. Like how much did we pay for Tavares? 15 or something. Lokonga was like 20 million. Trossard was like 22, 23 million or something. Like we never go for the big money kind of players. So maybe the ways have changed this time. Maybe you're actually now going to go for these big money players. If we get all 3 of them, I am not going to complain at all about Havertz, not at all. And as I said, I'm 55% okay with him signing and 45% not okay. I've also had people saying, why are we signing Havertz? He's not going to score 30 goals for us. I keep on saying we scored 88 goals last season. Yes, I would be happy if we signed Osimhen. Of course, I would be very happy if we signed Osimhen. If we signed Harry Kane, of course, I'd be very happy because you're getting a striker who's going to pump in the goals for you, who's going to bang in the goals for you. Yes, but I don't think that is our major problem. I don't think we need to get a striker. We want a striker. I don't think we need a striker. If Havertz joins Arsenal today, we don't need him to score 30 goals in a season. I've had people saying, why are we signing Havertz? Is not going to score 30 goals. If Havertz signs for Arsenal, we don't need him to score 30 goals. Arsenal, the forward players is a mix. Martinelli is going to get for you 15. Saka is going to get for you 15. Odegaard is going to get for you 15. Jesus, if he's fit, is going to get for you 15. And Havertz, if he's there, is going to get you more than 10 as well. Trossard is going to chip in with 8 goals and 8 assists as well. It's a mixture. That is what the Arsenal forward line is building. We are not depending on one player to score the goals. Yes, it would be great if you get a striker who can do that and to take it to the absolute next level, yes. But if Havertz side, we're not looking for 30 goals because that is already a bad idea of what Havertz is going to bring at Arsenal. If he comes in and scores 10 goals and gets 6 assists, I'd be happy with that. I'd be absolutely happy with that. And also, he's not coming to play every single day. We also need to remember that he's not going to come to play every single day. So those are my points on Havertz. You have to look at it from 3 or 4 different angles. Yes, it could be good. Yes, it might be bad. The angle that I don't look at it from is why are we signing players from Man City and Chelsea? I don't usually look at it like that. I think, as I've always said, I think Jorginho has been okay. Yes, it does feel like we signed too many players from Chelsea. Some people would call them rejects from Chelsea and all that. But this one is 24. Willian, we signed him at like 31. Gallas was like almost 30. Luiz was like 30. We signed those players approaching the end. Havertz is nowhere near his prime yet. Like, he's just starting, like right now. Like, he's just been like 5 years or something at the top level. He's nowhere near his prime. So we have to wait and see what happens with this one. But I would definitely not pay 75 million, just to make that clear. I would not pay 75 million for him. And also, some people have said if we pay 75 million for Havertz for Chelsea, that we are strengthening them and we are giving them the money to buy Caicedo pretty much. I don't think if you sign Havertz, it's going to be today. Definitely not. I still think Rice is going to join fast. For Caicedo, we have to wait. I don't know what that is going to, what that deal would mean if we get Kai Havertz for almost that kind of money. But then you have to believe in what some of the manager and Edu are doing. There has to be a bit of it that believes in that. Even if you don't like Aten, you don't like Edu, there has to be part of you. We were so close to winning the Premier League title. So close. We were 5 points away. And that is after people said, why are we signing Zinchenko? Why are we signing Jesus? So there has to be part of it that says, what are they thinking? Try and think maybe what are they thinking about this deal? But hey, let me come to the comments. I can already see there's 70 comments in the chat. I know there's what the hell is Havertz doing here? And I know maybe some of you agree. Remember the poll that I've just asked, and also if you're watching on a different, if you're watching on Facebook, will Havertz make Arsenal stronger or weaker? Let me know. Let's get to the comments. Let's see what you guys are saying. I'm a fan of this player, Havertz, says Gabriel. Interesting. Kip Correa says good addition it would be. 2 good comments to start. Okay. Frederick says since next season we will be competing with more and tough teams, I think he's right to join. Oh, 3 good comments in a row. Okay. Lotte says, what a professional player. 4 positive comments in a row. Demak says he'll make us stronger. 5 positive comments in a row. Here is I'm not sure kind of comment from Samson. Where will he play at Arsenal? I don't know. I don't see him playing in the Xhaka role, unless it depends on the game, because you cannot play Havertz in the Xhaka role if you're playing away to Liverpool or Man City. That would be suicidal. There's no way you can play Havertz in that role, because he does not have that energy that Xhaka has back and forth. But the same way we usually asked for Odegaard and Smith Rowe to get in the same team and still have Martinez, Saka, and Jesus, the home games against the smaller, there's no smaller teams in the Premier League, but you know what I mean. Like if you're playing Luton at home or if you're playing Sheffield United at home, those kind of games, maybe you can play together with Odegaard. And he's very versatile, so maybe you're also going to use him as a forward player. Now, again, if we sign Havertz, I don't think we'll sign a striker. If we get Havertz, just to make that clear, I don't think we'll also sign a striker. I think that will be it in terms of forward players, since he can play a lot of different positions. That will make a few people not happy and all that, but I don't think it will happen if we get Havertz. Katuma says if he joins us, no problem. Another positive comment. It will another impact on Arsenal, especially in widening up our squad. Why was that so hard to say? Daya says Kai Havertz is a good signing. Interesting. Here we have the first negative comment of the day from Dandy. Kai Havertz is too lazy. I do not support the deal. Now this is why we look at it like this. Surely Edu and At have looked at that and they know that. So maybe they're planning a completely different role for him. Maybe they're not planning him to play in that kind of role at all. Surely they know that. So maybe they're not trying to use him in that kind of pressing role or anything like that. So we have to wait and see what happens with that. But I keep on saying I don't think he's a terrible player. I don't think he's the worst player to ever play in the Premier League. That one, no. My only issues are price, 75 million, and also system, because he prefers to play as a number 10 and he plays in a 4-3-3. Chen says we need the deal for Declan Rice, Caicedo, Castaneda done before all this nonsense. Okay. CK says the money is too much, more players, but to him is good as well. Yeah, this is what I expected. I expected it to be balanced. Good comments and a few bad comments as well. No sense at all. Please, let's find a better player, says Sunday. It doesn't make sense, says Marvin. This is what I kind of expected. I'm not going to be happy if this deal goes through. Kai is not ready to become a second striker, says Humphrey. Kai is not a keeper of the ball and he's not a fighter. Acha Air is seriously serious and we don't need a slow finisher. Yes, Acha Air is full of players who are going to press and fight and all that. So don't we think Acha already knows that, though? Surely they're not brain dead and will just wake up in the morning and say, okay, let's sign a player who is lazy when we want a player who's going to run. I don't know. But if he signs for us, it's going to be very interesting to see how he fits into the Arsenal team, because the system, he does not fit into the system. And where he's going to be used, we don't know. As a striker, as an Odegaard role, as a Xhaka role, as a winger, where is he going to be used? Abdul says, well, he's a good player at time, but the money is too much. That one I agree with. 50 million is okay for him, says Continental. That is the most I'll probably pay for him. And I still kind of think that is a bit too much. Maybe 45 or something, but they won't sell for. I can't see them selling for like 40 million. It has to be more than that for them to sell. Good news, says Silver. Happy to hear that. Okay. The only issue is money. Havertz is a good versatile player, plays on both flanks as a number 10, a false 9, and even a target 9. He's not coming into the team to become a starter immediately. That is true. Kai Havertz will definitely be a great squad player for Arsenal. Interesting. So far in the poll, 77% are saying he's going to make Arsenal stronger. How are you? I don't know. Seeing you. The transfer window just opened today, and Arsenal fan, there's a lot to go through already. This is the first day. The transfer window is going all the way to September 1st. If this is the first day, our heads will go crazy between now and September. That is what I'd like to believe. Mabeko, that is what I'd like to believe. Atene do have done their homework well before taking the decision, I guess. That is why I feel like they know better than us, because them spotting Tomiyasu, them spotting all these players, Ben White and Ramsdale, especially Ramsdale one. I don't think there's anyone who wanted Ramsdale at that time. I don't think there's any other team that wanted Ramsdale, and they were like, we're going to get Ramsdale, and people are like, this guy's been relegated like 3 times. Are we getting him? That is the one that was very, very impressive. The Ramsdale coming to Arsenal. So that for me gave them a lot of points in my heart in terms of trusting them, to the point of even if they say right now they are going to I don't know, sign Danny Ward from Leicester, the Leicester goalkeeper, I'd be like, maybe they've seen something. Let's see. Kenny Nice thing he says all of us would take take Leverkusen Havertz in a heartbeat. Yeah, Leverkusen Havertz would definitely take him. Chelsea Havertz maybe not right away. But then again, I keep on stressing, I don't think he's a terrible player. I just think the price is too much, and I think the system is kind of weird to know how he's going to fit to us. I think he's definitely going to play better at Arsenal than at Chelsea, because Chelsea have too many problems. And Arsenal is kind of, I think this institution right now is a very healthy institution right now. So there's that. Rashi is laughing. Rashi is laughing at the idea of getting Kai Havertz. That is why, again, I remember very well, I can pick up the comments. When you were talking about Ramsdale and Tomiyasu, there was a lot of people laughing. So there's that as well. Havertz is a sure good deal, but maybe does not rank high on a current priority. I don't think Havertz is a priority. For me, Declan Rice is a priority and Caicedo is a priority. I also don't think getting a striker is a priority. I think you need to get midfielders first. But then again, positive is maybe you want to, if you're spending this kind of money, maybe we've changed our ways. If you're being linked to players of 80 to 100 million every single day, then Better to have Balogun, please. Let's invest in midfield wingers and defense, says Oliver. That one I don't agree with. If it's stuff in terms of experience, Havertz is way ahead of Balogun. Balogun has just had his first good season, and Havertz has been he had like 3 good seasons at Leverkusen, probably 1 at Chelsea. So he's definitely ahead of Balogun in terms of experience and in terms of knowing about the game. Maybe in terms of recent form, Balogun has been great. Yes, in terms of recent form, the last 1 year, Balogun is better. But then again, I would ask you, if you're being very, very sincere, Arsenal in the Champions League next season, if Jesus is not available, who would you want to be starting for you? Havertz or Balogun? Who would you want to be in your team? Or Odegaard is not there, who would you want? Balogun or Havertz in the team? There's that as well. Most of you would still say Havertz would prefer Havertz because you've seen him doing things before. Balogun, I still think he needs another loan deal, to be honest. I still think he needs a second loan deal. And even with that said, I think Nketiah will remain as an Arsenal player. I don't think Balogun will be an Arsenal player next season. He wants to play first team football. Balogun, he's not going to get first team football at Arsenal. If we are hearing that Havertz already wants to play for Arsenal, they've already had personal talks and everything. I'm pretty sure he's been told if you're going to join Arsenal, you're not going to play every single day. We already have Odegaard, we already have Fabio Vieira, Smith Rowe, and all these guys. And if he's okay with that, why not? Let's see. Still need any praying for Chelsea? I don't know what you mean by that. Mason Mount is a baller. He is, but not for 80 million. No, says Prince. Lazy play and the money is too much. I think Kai is not a bad player, says Anu. I don't think so as well. And this is not because Arsenal want him, because people would say that because you want him, you've changed your opinion. No. 2 weeks ago, when I did a show talking about Real Madrid potentially signing Havertz, I was like, Real Madrid will actually have a good team. They'll have Havertz, Vinicius, and Rodrigo, and all these people. So, and again, he's wanted by Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, and Man City. Those 3 teams wanting the same player. There has to be something that they've seen. Maybe we need to rewatch these Havertz games or something. I think Kai Havertz will fit into our system, particularly 4-3-3. I don't think he'll fit into a 4-3-3, man, unless he plays the Odegaard role or as a false 9, like what Trossard has been doing for us. But the Xhaka role, unless we want to go completely change our ways, like, Arteta is a guy who likes technical stuff and formation stuff a lot. Say, being under Guardiola, they like all that thinking about the lineup and not sleeping for 3 days and thinking about how they're going to set up their team. Maybe he already has a different plan for next season. That is why he's been playing Partey, maybe at right back. Maybe he's thinking about all that. Maybe Zinchenko coming in, and maybe Zinchenko will be told, you know what, maybe don't play as an inverted fullback for a couple of games, keep your left side, maybe you're going to have an inverted right back instead, so that the Havertz or Smith, whoever is playing there, do not have to cover at left back. We don't know. We are not the managers. Whatever they do, it's going to be interesting to see what happens. Who will at a bench for him to start? I don't think he's going to start. And again, since we have a team of 18 good players, they're only like 7 or 8 guaranteed players to start. The others, I think they can all be rotated. If Havertz comes to Arsenal, it's a rotation. I can't see anyone starting 3 or 4 games in a row, apart from maybe the center backs and the goalkeeper. All the others, I feel like there'll be a lot of rotation, just like Man City. I think you're going to see Martinelli starting over the weekend, Trossard starting in the Champions League, and then the next week, Martinelli is the one who's starting the Champions League. Jesus comes on for him on the left side. We're going to see Smith Rowe coming in for Odegaard. If Havertz is there, you're going to see him starting. If Partey is still there and Christ is also there, you're going to see this one starting this one and this one starting in that one. There's that as well. You need at least 18 great players in your team. That is exactly what he needs. So I do think he makes us stronger. Are there better options? Yes, I do agree that there's definitely better options. There's all that, but he is versatile. His age is great as well. So Vlahovic is better than him, says Continental. Well, I do and I don't think that. So I don't know. There's nothing bad in signing players from Chelsea, Man City. That one I don't have a problem with. I'm signing 35-year-olds from Chelsea. Yes, that is a concern. But I think people have gotten it too much into their mentality that, oh my goodness, why are we signing this player from Chelsea when we check did not work out for us? No, 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 no. It's not that. Jorginho has been okay. David Luiz was okay for 60%. And I still do think Czech was 60% okay during his Arsenal career as well. They're not great, yes. If you're signing a player who's approaching the end of their career, someone like a Willian who's already won the Premier League title, he just wants to stay in London, he's waiting for his twins to finish school and go to America or something, then that one is a concern. But Havertz is 24. He's never won the Premier League before. He's still hungry for something like that. He still has a lot to prove himself. He still wants to play for Germany. He still wants to compete. For Germany to play there, you're going to have to be very good to compete with the likes of Musial and all those guys over there. Havertz is not a goal taker. Even Jesus is better than him. Now that is why we have to wait and see. I don't think Havertz is being signed as a goal scorer. I'll keep on stressing it. I don't think Arsenal need a 30 goal. Will a 30 goal striker make us better? Yes, for sure. I'm not saying no. But Arsenal is a mixture. That is why last season we had 15, 15, 15, 10 goals from different players. And it worked. We were still top of the table for most of it, and we only lost out by 5 points, and we did not have any problem with scoring goals last season. That was not our problem at all. We scored way over 100 goals in all competitions, way more than that. So, and if you add again Rice and Caicedo in midfield in terms of interceptions and tackles, you'll get more chances. So I don't think Havertz is coming to score goals. I don't think Jesus as well has been asked to score 25 goals for us. If he scores, well and good. But I think most of our forward players are, a player like Haaland. I don't know how many assists he got, but can we go back? A player like Shearer will potentially get. I know he got assists, but if you play a Shearer and a Haaland, they would get you 35 goals and maybe 4 or 5 assists. That is the balance. 85% they're scoring goals and 15% they're assisting. That is their job. It's if you're watching basketball, probably someone like a Jokic from Nuggets, it's a mixture. They're going to get you goals and assists and rebounds and all that. There's a couple of players like Joel Embiid, who his job is to score. His job is to score. If you watch NBA, I don't know why I'm making an NBA reference in here. Maybe because it's just a Stan Kroenke team that won the NBA. But for us, it's the same with someone like a Jokic from basketball. You need to watch him, by the way. It's very amazing. We are trying to look for players who are balanced. We are not trying to get a player who's going to get you 30 goals and 2 assists. We are getting players who are going to get you 15 goals and 8 assists, 10 goals, 10 assists, 7 goals, 8 assists. There was a lot of that last season. Martinelli, Odegaard, Jesus, Saka, Trossard, and even Xhaka. It was a balance. You score 8, you assist 8. You score 15, you assist 10. It's a balance. So it depends on what Tata is looking for. I don't think Havertz is going to come to score 30 goals. He's going to end up like all the others. Score 10 goals, assist 8. Balance. Havertz, for that one, Havertz is a good player. Also, and hopefully will be great help to the team. Says Erimai. Kai will add depth, says Anu. Eze is better than him, says Edwin. Well, we know buying Tielemans is already gone. Let's forget about Tielemans. Tielemans has already gone to Aston Villa. Arsenal shouldn't waste resources on Kai. The money is too much for sure. There's a lot you can do for that money for sure. That one I agree with. Arsenal should sign Mitoma, says Ibrahim. There's a couple of players that we want that are fairy tale signings. It would be great to have Mitoma, but do Arsenal need Mitoma? I don't think Arsenal need Mitoma. We already have Martinelli on that side, Trossard, all those guys. Nelson has signed a new contract. Arsenal does not need Mitoma. Would Mitoma do great at Arsenal? Oh, for sure, 100%. Would I be happy seeing Mitoma in an Arsenal jersey? 100%. He has a university degree, for goodness sake. Of course, I'd want him playing for Arsenal. But that is not what we should be going for. I'm definitely surprised that we've even gone for Havertz, because I don't think forward players is our problem. But I'm pretty sure I do also know that Mitoma and Eze are good players. So the price is not right, says Anu. If he is good, no problem, but I'd prefer Caicedo, says Emmanuel. I mean, different roles. If you get all three of them, brilliant. Why not? He is not going to improve the team, says Michael. So he's going to make the team worse, is what you're saying. Interesting. Because it's one of the two, Michael. Either you think he's going to make the team great or he's going to make the team worse. Which one is it? Issue says, I don't think Havertz, Rice, because first then we can go for him, but for now, no. So you want Rice and Caicedo first, says Issue. Kai is good when it comes to aerial balls. Now, the thing is, I've been asking a lot for a different kind of striker, someone who can head the ball, tall player. Havertz is that, but I mean, he's missed a lot of. I've watched him recently. He's missed a lot of open headers and stuff. But then again, another thing I take into consideration is player confidence. There, we talked a lot about that like 4 years ago, where Arsenal players were very confident kind of players. Like this player only scores when he's confident. I think all Chelsea players were their confidence had gone. Like the last season, like if you're going to take Odegaard to Chelsea last season, he would have been terrible as well. I feel like everyone had just given up last season. That is why I don't think like surely if you give Havertz and Felix and all those players 10 chances, they're really going to miss 9 of them every single time. I don't really think so, man. I really don't think so. And again, he's good at aerial balls. That is what you don't have. I've still seen him scoring a few headers for Chelsea as well. So there's that. The thing I think, the reason I think Arteta and Edu would want him is mainly because of versatility. That is the main thing. I think all our players can play different positions, starting from Ben White, starting from Tomiyasu, starting from even Kivio. We've seen him playing 3 different roles in 3 different games, and we know about Zinchenko and Rice and all those players in Jesus. And Saka can even play for you as a goalkeeper if needed. Like we have players who can play. Ramsdale can play for you as a midfielder because his passing is not bad at all. We can also play Havertz as a false 9, says Ibrahim. If we get Havertz for 45 million, I'm not going to complain at all. You're not going to hear me complaining at all that you signed a player from Chelsea. No. 75 million, that's a lot of pressure. You're basically asking Havertz you're one of our biggest signings. You're going to make a huge difference to our team. 75 million. No, Havertz has not joined. Caicedo has not joined Chelsea. Ferdinand says Havertz is just an average player. Christopher says Havertz will be a very good plus to our squad if he plays how he played in Leverkusen. He can play in a 4-1-4-1 beside Odegaard. Yeah, that is the thing I was saying when you're playing, especially against the smaller teams. I mean, I don't call any on smaller teams. You can lose to anyone, but you know the teams, the games that you expected to win by 3 or 4 goals, especially at home, you can see that exact formation, Emmanuel. Only one defensive midfield and then the others playing in front. That's when you can definitely see that happening. But then again, how does that affect Fabio Vieira and Smith Rowe? How many minutes are Fabio Vieira and Smith Rowe going to get next season? For me, I don't have a problem with backing up the midfield. I think with that is a position where we need a lot of different options. Gabba says Arsenal should be careful of buying Chelsea deadwoods. This is what I was saying. I don't agree with that. I don't think Havertz is a Chelsea deadwood. That one I don't. Do I think Willian was a Chelsea deadwood? Yes. Do I think Luiz might have been a Chelsea deadwood? Maybe. Do I think Havertz is a Chelsea deadwood? No. He's nowhere near his prime. Does he have a chance of improving his game? Yes. He's only 24, so he's not Chelsea deadwood. And also, what if he comes and he works out for us and Chelsea looks stupid? Perfect. But not for 72, not for 75 million. I'll keep stressing that. The price is the problem. I will be happy to see Havertz, says King. Is William Saliba signing a new contract? They already agreed everything. He's on holiday right now. Saliba is going to be an Arsenal player for the next 4 years. Don't worry about that one. Kai is an Ozil type of player. That is how he played in Leverkusen. My worry, he comes to Arsenal where he's going to play. Will he bench Odegaard or the formation changes? I think he's going to fit in that 4 when you're playing with both Odegaard and Havertz on the pitch at the same time. I wouldn't be surprised to see him also playing as a striker in a few games, false 9 together, Trossard and also Jesus when he's on the bench. But if you sign Havertz, forget about signing a striker. I don't think we're going to sign a striker if we get Havertz. Havertz is a good deal, says Mesh. Havertz for what? Says Agok. Havertz for what? Why they want to sell Balogun if they want a striker? I don't think Havertz is being signed mainly as a striker. I don't think that is the case. And do I think Havertz is more ready than Balogun? I do think so, unfortunately. Havertz is a good guy. If his chance plays, let's go for him, says Haruna. We need a tall attacker that can add another dynamic to the attack, especially with headers. Well, Havertz is a tall guy as well, so there's that. Havertz is a very good player. He's a very experienced player. I think he's a very good player that has had a couple of poor seasons and had a shocking season because one, he was very short of confidence and I mean a very, very poor Chelsea team. If he goes to like a Real Madrid, I can see him absolutely enjoying himself playing next to Vinicius and all those guys. He will be absolutely enjoying himself. Chelsea, it has just come like, when they say sometimes it can work out for you in a different team and sometimes you go to a different team, it doesn't work out for you. We've seen a lot of players who are very, very terrible in a different team and they come to a different team and they're very good. That can also happen. The chances of it are minimal, but it is not beyond happening. Like it can actually happen. Having a player who's very bad at another team and he becomes great in your team. Like Nicolas Pepe right now, we are going to sell him. He might go to a different team and he starts scoring 40 goals in a season, but he was nowhere good for us. If we get Havertz, he might come to us and score that 20 goals people are asking for, and then people will be like, why didn't he do this for Chelsea? I do think Arsenal have a better system than Chelsea, yes, and I think Havertz would still play better at Arsenal than at Chelsea. Also, the players who are surrounding you and everything, very, very important. I think even me and you, if you go and play for Arsenal right now, I think we'll all be world class right away because you're playing with Saka, with Martinelli, Odegaard, all these guys. You're just going to be confident. You're seeing Odegaard flicking the ball around. You also feel confident in doing that. There is that. But I remember Havertz is not being bought to score 30 goals. That is not a job. And I don't think Arsenal are going to go for a player who's going to score 30 goals in a season. We are mixing it up. Players who are going to get goals and assists, a great mixture of them. And we already have like 6 or 7 of those players. He can play the Saka role too, says Amos. Please bring Kunde from Barcelona, Saliba replacement. I don't like that word replacement. Saliba does not need a replacement. Saliba needs a backup. Kunde would be too expensive, surely. We are not. I don't want us to pay 50 million for a centre back or something like that. I want us to pay that kind of money for midfielders. There are others you can pay little money. You can look for backups, but 50 potentially for Kunde, that is too much money. Let us prioritize Rice and Caicedo, please, says Moses. I think we're still going to get Rice before Havertz. Because I don't think we're going to pay 75 million for Havertz. That is going to be negotiated. So that can take a few weeks before it's done. As of now, it's only Havertz who can play that Odegaard position best in that Arsenal squad. I think Fabio Vieira can play it too. I mean, a lot of you have forgotten about Fabio Vieira. He's been here for one season. He did not have a preseason. He was injured for like 4 months after joining Arsenal. And obviously, he was not a first-team player. And when he came on, yes, he disappointed. But in the second season, maybe he will do a bit of gym during the off-season and he will be better next season. You have to give both Kivy and Fabio Vieira second season. You have to give them second season. Those who say he has no iron goal don't really know Havertz. Yeah, I don't think like it's terrible. I don't think like he's not going to score your goals. Like if Havertz plays in this Arsenal team right now, I would be very happy to bet that he will still get you like more than 15 goal returns. Not goals, but good balance. He can still get you 10 goals and 5-6 assists in the same season. And that for me, I'd be happy with for sure. Balance. If Martinelli, Jesus, Saka, Odegaard, Havertz, and all of them score 10 goals for you, that is already 50 goals. And then you add 3 or 4 more from Gabriel, 2 more from Zinchenko, 2 more from Ben White, 2 more from Declan Rice and Partey as well. And then if Nketiah is still there, he can come. I mean, Nketiah is, yes, people don't like him, but he still scores more than 10 goals per season for Arsenal. So Nketiah can still contribute 8 goals for you in that season as well. Let's not forget Trossard. Trossard can also get you 50. Like if Trossard got us 10 assists, he was here for 4 months. If he plays the whole season, he can get you like 15 assists in that season. So if you get another like 6-7 goals from Trossard as well, that is already like 70 goals. already in your team, and there's Saka can get you more than 10, Jesus can get you more than 10, and all that. So I think Havertz can easily get you 10 goals in the Arsenal team. I don't think he's a disastrous kind of player. His confidence is very short for sure. He's not confident right now. Bringing him to Arsenal is helping Chelsea to beat us on signing Kaiser. What if you get all three of them, Kripotich? What if you get all three of them? We all complained to Edu who signed Jorginho. Yeah, for me, I'm at a stage where I don't really care who what they do. And I know people will overreact. Why are we going for this player? When I heard about Havertz, I was like, oh, wow, Arsenal actually interested in Havertz. That is interesting. I didn't expect that. But then and I was like, okay, if they want him, maybe they've seen something that is fine. But the only time I turned my head was like, oh, 75 million. No, that is too much money for Havertz. That is the only time I turned my head. And also in terms of him fitting the system. But he's been in that team for like 4 years at Arteta. So if he's going to sell Pepe and bring Havertz, just let him do what they're going to do. They got us to second spot. We almost won the title. Let them have this transfer window. Let's see what happens. He's a good player, says Emmanuel. He can do better at Arsenal. I think he would definitely do better at Arsenal. But is he our priority? No, he's definitely not our priority. So let me make those points clear. I don't agree with the price. I don't think he's worth 75 million. I don't think he directly fits into the Arsenal system. And I also don't think he's a priority signing. I do think he's a good, versatile player. I do still think he would be better at Arsenal than at Chelsea. I do think he's the correct age as well. So there's positives and negatives. And I don't take into consideration he's coming from Chelsea. He's coming from Man City. Forget about that. Those players who are coming from there are 30-year-olds. And very impressive. May I know more information about Declan Rice? Declan Rice will join Arsenal. I'm not even worried about this one at all. Like for me, I'm already counting Declan Rice as an Arsenal player. All the teams have backed out already. It's just for us to agree the fee with West Ham. Let's see. I don't think they're going to give us 35 million as Eric. I think they will refuse. Maybe, but maybe I think the least would be 50 million, unless they want a player from Arsenal. I don't know. We need a backup for Saka in our midfield. I won't appreciate if you sell Partey, prefer Partey than Rice. I don't want us to sell Partey as well. Arsenal need a Tony as a striker. I don't think Arsenal need a striker. I think we want a striker. I don't think Arsenal need a striker. Arsenal need a midfielder. That is what we need. We need midfielders. Let's just trust Edu and Arteta. Arteta and Edu, they know what is best for the team. Otherwise, Havertz is not a bad deal. For 75 million, yes. Bad deal for 75 million. For me, I think Balogun is better than Nketiah. I think a lot of people agree with you, Osman, because he has good control on the ball more than Nketiah. To be sincere, if Partey leaves, then Arsenal are not planning to have score depth. It means that he's a replacement. So what if the new signings will not be fit our system? So what is the improvement? I'm really hoping we don't get rid of Partey for sure. I think we 100% still need him in the team. I would love to see Caicedo and Rice before anyone else. You already have someone in that position, so we don't need to panic. I definitely agree that as well. Zulu, you sign your priorities first, and then if you have enough money, then you can go and sign players like Havertz and stuff. But let's forget about Havertz is coming from Chelsea. Havertz is coming from Chelsea. Forget about that. Forget about Havertz is coming from Chelsea. That is what people don't like. Like if Havertz was coming from Liverpool, people would be like, oh yeah, bring him. But just because it's coming from Chelsea, it's not good. Forget about him coming from Chelsea. Arsenal should sign quality players, not lazy man, says Samson. Well, Kai Havertz, do I have that? Kai Havertz is being linked to Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, and Manchester City. He's not a bad player. He's being wanted by Bayern Munich, Real Madrid, and Manchester City. And Arsenal on top of that. Remember, Arsenal is a big club these days as well. He's not a bad player. Do I think he's a quality player? Yes. Do I think he's worth 75 million? No. Do I think he would make the Arsenal team better? Yes. Do I think he's going to immediately fit into the system? Maybe not. And also, do I think there's better players who are cheaper? Yes, I do think that. But that is why we say, if Arteta do want the player, then we have very, very minimal say. Because We wanted Maddison, they got Odegaard. Odegaard is better than Maddison right now. We wanted Maddison, they wanted Odegaard. It has worked out. People wanted other right backs. They wanted Tomiyasu. Tomiyasu's great. People wanted who was the goalkeeper that people wanted? There's a goalkeeper that people wanted. People did not want Ramsdale. Look at Ramsdale right now. People still think Ben White is not a good player. I think Ben White has been one of our top 5 players last season, and he was 50 million, and he's been great. Signing Caseda alone gives us a midfield and a backup to our right back. Yep, he fits 2-3 positions or something. That makes Ben White a backup for Saliba. Emmanuel is breaking down everything that is in my head. Caseda and Havertz will be a good transfer already. Just a couple of loan deals to make the squad. Now listen, if you give me Caseda, Rice, Havertz, that is like more than 200 million, by the way, and another player, a 4th player, that is a 10 out of 10 transfer window, 100%. DM and CM and backup for Saka, says all Arsenal need is a DM, CM, and a backup for Saka. Yes, I mean, if you got that, fine. But if they want to add another player on top of that, if there's money for that, I'm not going to complain. Instead of signing another striker, why not bring in Balogun? Would you be happy with Balogun starting for us in the Champions League, Baba Tope? Like if Jesus was not there and Balogun was the only one remaining, would you be happy with him starting for us in a Champions League game away at Barcelona? Would you be happy with that? I don't think he's ready yet, personally. He's had a very good season at Reims. I know he's had a very good season. I still think he needs another loan in a Premier League team, one more season, and then he comes back next season. That is what I would do. Is he better than Nketiah? He could be, yeah. But do I think I want him in the Arsenal team to be starting Premier League and Champions League games? I don't really think so. I want him to have another loan deal next season. So this is going to carry on. There's going to be a lot of debate on Havertz. But according to the poll, 76% have said Havertz will make Arsenal stronger, and 12% have said he's going to make us winger, and 12% weaker. 12% have said they are not sure about Havertz. They've not decided yet. So let's break the news once again. David Dunstein said Arsenal have made proposal to sign Kai Havertz, pursuit ramped up in recent days. Contract with Chelsea and 24-year-old. FC Bayern are also keen. 2 years left on his Chelsea contract. And also, according to Fabrizio, more on Kai Havertz, sources feel that Chelsea could be flexible about price tag after initial 75 million request. 75 million is a lot of money. Real Madrid wouldn't even pay 50 million for Havertz as of now. And according to Jacob Steinberg, Arsenal have emerged as strong contenders for the signature of Kai Havertz. The player has told Chelsea he wants to leave. It wouldn't really be a transfer window if Arsenal don't sign a player from Chelsea. And what is it? Like, why do we have a good relationship with Chelsea? Why are we always like exchanging and buying players from Chelsea and they're getting players from us? Like, do you know how many players have played for Arsenal and Chelsea? So many. Like 70% of them have not been great, including the ones who've gone to their team, like an Aubameyang. Not directly gone there, but someone like an Aubameyang, great at Arsenal, terrible at Chelsea. Willian, great at Chelsea, terrible at Arsenal. We somehow have a good relationship with Chelsea in the transfer market somehow. I don't know why. I don't know if it's because they don't sell us quality players like people want. Arsenal need to go for Ansu Fati. I mean, I still think he's been overhyped more than what he's done at Barcelona. We don't need to go for him. You want us to go for him. I don't think we need Ansu Fati at Arsenal. Balogun needs playing time and he can't have that. Loan him out or sell him with a buyback clause. If they gave us 50 million, I would. But for me, I want him to go out on loan fast to a Premier League team. Like, if you can get a team that don't really have a striker, I don't know, not a team like Aston Villa or teams like that. Those teams already have people like Watkins. And I don't want him to go to a team that could potentially be relegated already, a team like Luton or something. People would expect them to be relegated or stuff like that. Just a middle kind of team, 9th to 12th. Now, you'll see a team like Wolves. Wolves don't really have a striker because Jimenez doesn't really play these days and Diego Costa will leave. If you go to a team like a Wolves and play, I would be happy to see how it does. A team like that, West Ham's or Wolves or teams like that. I'd love Havertz to be a player, says Amos. So this is going to be debated. A lot of people don't want him. A lot of people want him. But if he signs for Arsenal, we have to trust in what a trainer do have to do. But hopefully not for 75 million. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch up with you guys on the next one.